Hey everyone, and today I'll be comparing Astral VPN and ExpressVPN, two services that aim to deliver strong privacy, solid speeds, and reliable access to popular streaming sites. Now, if you've spent any time looking into VPNs, you've probably already heard of ExpressVPN. It's one of the most well-known options out there, and it tends to check all the boxes when it comes to ease of use, security, and performance. Astral VPN, on the other hand, tends to stay more under the radar. But even though it's not as widely talked about, it actually brings a few unique features to the table, especially if you need to get around strict VPN blocks or access content from more restricted regions. So in this comparison, I'll walk you through exactly how Astral and Express stack up when it comes to speed, streaming, security, and value, so you can decide which one is going to be the better fit for your needs. And just a quick reminder, if you want to check out my full review of ExpressVPN or take advantage of any discount codes, I'll include those links down in the description for you as well. Now, where Astral VPN really tries to set itself apart is with its custom protocols, specifically Stealth VPN and OpenWeb. These are designed to get around tough VPN blocks, like those used by streaming platforms or even in regions with heavy internet censorship. So if you're trying to access content on Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime Video, Disney Plus, or Max, these features can make a real difference. Now, when it comes to speed, this is an area where ExpressVPN continues to lead. In my tests, average speed loss was around 18%, which is pretty typical for high-performing VPNs, but it actually dropped to just 7 or 8% in some cases when using their lightweight turbo feature. Even on longer distance connections, it rarely went beyond a 20% drop, and only the furthest servers pushed things closer to 40%. That's a huge plus if you're planning on streaming in HD, gaming, or just want your connection to stay feeling fast. Astral VPN has improved over the years, especially when using WireGuard, but long-distance connections still saw speeds drop by about 76%, and even switching to their OpenWeb protocol didn't make a huge difference. So while it's usable for streaming or gaming, it doesn't quite deliver the same level of performance or consistency you get with Express. And speaking of consistency, server network size plays a big role in that too. ExpressVPN gives you access to over 3,000 servers in 105 countries, which not only gives you more regional variety, but also helps reduce slowdowns during peak hours. And most of these servers are able to bypass geo restrictions on services like Netflix, Hulu, and BBC iPlayer without any extra steps. Astral VPN, by comparison, runs a smaller network, around 330 servers in just under 60 countries. It still covers the basics pretty well, and you can get around geo blocks on most major platforms. But if you need the widest range of options or want more reliable access during busy times, Express definitely has the edge here too. Now, looking at customer support, this is another area where ExpressVPN stands out. Their live chat is available 24/7, and in my experience, you get connected almost immediately. The support reps are friendly, knowledgeable, and usually quick to get you exactly what you need, whether it's a setup guide or help with troubleshooting. Astral VPN also offers 24/7 live chat, which is good to see, but response times were a bit slower overall, and the level of detail in the support didn't quite match what I got with Express. So if having quick, reliable help is something that matters to you, that's one more area where ExpressVPN pulls ahead. Now, when it comes to the actual user experience, both VPNs are fairly easy to install and get running. With Astral VPN, the setup process is straightforward, and the desktop app keeps everything pretty simple. The interface is a bit more old school in appearance, but all the core features like switching protocols or checking your connection status are front and center. One thing that's nice is you can customize quite a bit under the hood if you want. Things like split tunneling, ad blocking, and smart routing are built right in. And their mobile apps work well too, with a similar layout and feature set across both Android and iOS. ExpressVPN, though, feels a lot more polished. The apps are clean, fast, and built for users who just want things to work. It's one click to connect, and you're good to go. You still have access to things like split tunneling, kill switch protection, and protocol switching, but everything is laid out in a way that's intuitive, even if you've never used a VPN before. They also recommend servers based on your location, so if you're not sure where to connect, it'll point you in the right direction, and that makes it ideal whether you're using it on your computer, your phone, or even devices like Fire TV or routers. Now, in terms of how many devices you can connect, ExpressVPN lets you use the service on up to 14 devices at the same time. That's already a good number for most households, but if you need more, you can always install it on a compatible router and cover everything on your network at once. Astral VPN officially supports 5 simultaneous connections per account, though they do mention you can use more if it's installed on a router. They also advertise support for up to 10 devices, but in practice, you're still limited to 5 unless you're routing traffic through a VPN-enabled device. So it's not quite as flexible, and the policy can feel a little unclear at times. Now, as for pricing, this is where the difference between these two really stands out. ExpressVPN starts at $12.99 for their 1-month plan, and while there are longer plans that bring the price down, the main thing is you're getting a high level of value for what you pay, especially with the performance and support you get in return. Astral VPN, though, starts at $30 a month, which puts it at the very high end of the VPN market. And since there's no money-back guarantee beyond the free trial period, it becomes even more important to be sure it fits your needs before committing. Now, speaking of commitments, refund policies are something else to keep in mind, especially if you're still testing things out. ExpressVPN offers a full 30-day money-back guarantee, which gives you a full month to try out the service with no risk. If you find it's not a good fit for any reason, getting a refund is quick and easy. Astral VPN, on the other hand, works a little differently. They offer a 7-day free trial, which is nice if you just want to take it for a spin. But once that trial ends, there's no refund policy. So if you decide to keep using it, you're locked in. And with a starting price of $30, that's something to be aware of. Now, in terms of security and privacy, both services cover the essentials, but there are some important differences here too. Astral VPN uses strong AES 256 encryption and supports modern protocols like WireGuard and OpenVPN. They also offer their own Stealth VPN protocol, which is designed to help bypass deep packet inspection and firewalls, especially useful in regions with tougher restrictions. You also get features like split tunneling, an app-level kill switch, VPN sharing, and multi-platform support, including for routers. So if you're someone who wants more manual control over your VPN connection, Astral gives you quite a few tools to work with. That said, Astral does keep some connection logs. These include things like anonymized IP addresses and connection times, which are stored for up to 30 days. So while it's not usage logging, it's still something to factor in, especially if privacy is one of your top priorities. ExpressVPN, by contrast, has a strict no logs policy that's been independently audited multiple times. None of your activity or connection data is stored, and that's been verified not just through audits, but also in real-world scenarios where servers were seized and nothing was found. So if you're looking for that extra layer of assurance, this is where Express really stands out. You also get a full suite of security features with Express, things like AES 256 encryption, a kill switch, DNS leak protection, split tunneling, and smart DNS support. And with their lightweight protocol and trusted server technology, everything runs fast while keeping your data off any physical drives. So if privacy and transparency are a high priority, ExpressVPN is the safer choice overall. Astral VPN still performs well, especially if you're trying to get around tougher network blocks, but it's not quite on the same level in terms of third-party verification or long-term privacy guarantees. And to wrap things up, Astral VPN is a solid option if you need specific features like Stealth VPN or want more control over how your VPN works. But the higher price, smaller network, and limited refund policy make it a bit harder to recommend for most people. ExpressVPN, on the other hand, gives you faster speeds, more flexibility, stronger privacy guarantees, and a much better value overall. And for most people, it's going to be the easier, more reliable choice. And again, if you want to check out ExpressVPN or see any available discounts, all the links are down in the description below. So hopefully you found this review helpful. If you did, please leave a thumbs up, as I always appreciate that. And if you've got any questions, feel free to leave those in the comments below. I always try to answer as many as I can. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video.